it is my pleasure to introduce Dr. Isa Bittel to you. Isa was actually here a few months ago. She was at our event here in Ireland, and there's pictures of Isa with Dr. Chris Morris and Tina Johnson, and you can see pictures of Isa there with Joe, and there's picture, the bottom group shot is actually the day after the event, but there's Isa in the middle, and it was fantastic to have her here. She came and stayed for a few days, and we got to know her, and I think everybody fell in love with Isa. She's just such a lovely person. I was lucky enough to have her staying with me while she was here, and she's welcome back anytime. It was great to have her, and I'm going to pass you over to her now in a sec. She's going to be talking about young tissue. This is a presentation that Isa herself gave recently in Malaysia, and I know we've plenty of people on because they're very interested in young tissue extract. Before I pass you over, I'll just show you this slide, because these are all Isa's qualifications, and I won't read out every single one of them. I will leave this here for a second because she's got so many qualifications. She's highly qualified in so many different areas. She's just an amazing person. So without further ado, Isa, are you there?
Yes, I am here, and thank you so much, Sonia. That was so lovely. You are always so lovely, and it was a great time in Ireland and seeing all your friends, and it was such a pleasure to be with you.
Well, yeah. It's always a pleasure to have you on. I'll just go back to the previous slide and we'll start here now.
Thank you.
And hopefully, guys, slides, hopefully I do it right.
Yes.
You can tell me if I make a mistake.
Recorded as well, so you can always have a look through the slides. It will become a little bit complicated from time to time because it's for a medical community. This talk was done in Malaysia, Kuala Lumpur, on a world conference for anti-aging, regenerative medicine and aesthetical medicine. So it was very exciting for me to present it and to see that we are all on the same page and we are doing the state of arts. So that's what I wanted to present, and I'm happy that you give me the opportunity. So I would like to start now. Is that all right?
Yes, perfect. You go right ahead. Will I start with this slide? Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you for your interest in advancing stem cell therapy, clinical application of young tissue extract. I welcome you to a journey of a discovery of an amazing potential of a fertilized, incubated egg. It all has started already 50 years ago, and now, with the help of sophisticated technology, it is a very simple to use, easy to understand, and well-researched treatment option. Unfortunately, it is still quite unknown, despite a broad range of clinical applications that are safe and affordable for the client. I personally came across one young tissue extract 4 years ago and have so great results that I'm compelled to share my knowledge with you. I was amazed about the discoveries of the renewal science and this respectful, ethical approach to more wellness and well-being for everybody, including our friends, the animals. And I'm still amazed how, especially after my own research and studies, and I hope you will be too. Our journey will lead us from the beginning of life, the egg and its potential shown with the help of new technology, to a bunch of possible clinical applications. I hope I can leave you with a feeling of something exciting to explore more in the future. I would like to thank Dr. Chris Morris and Tina Johnson, the co-formulators of StemRenu, the product in which young tissue extract is the main ingredient. They gave me all support and information, and I'm especially grateful for the generous help of Joe Garcia as my representative of NHT Global. I'm Isa Bittel, born and living in Germany. I'm uniquely qualified in psychosomatic medicine, psychiatry, and integrative holistic medicine, also for children. I'm always looking around what could benefit my clients of all age. Working with 4 child psychiatrists, I'm more the practical type of doctor, wanting the patient to profit quickly with the least side effects possible. We doctors and other helpers cannot offer a quick fix for all these problems we have to face, and I know some of are desperate for help, even using medication and doing what they are told. I'm talking to you about a great way to restoring energy, focus, the hormonal equilibrium, and emotional balance. That is, we have to deal with in this world. This is stress and all its aberration, especially depression. The attack of our modern day lifestyle is unrelenting. The impact for our world is stress and stress-related illnesses. One aspect of it is inflammation. Next slide, please. Inflammation, also silent inflammation, is often described as underlying virtually every chronic condition and illness. If you look at this chart, I would include depression, often an inflammation-driven condition. And what we are touching today finds great interest in the scientific community. On the right-hand side, you see the numbers of publications and on PubMed. Another aspect of stress is oxidative stress, causing aging, cellular degeneration, and disease. The natural progression of the aging process is due to cellular degeneration. Oxidative stress and free radical pathology has been well studied in this respect as causative factor. So how can we mitigate oxidative stress? We can check the patients for deficiencies, and we start with replenishing the system. I would like to introduce you to what we call renewal science that addresses regeneration and repair of the body and its functions. And we can add renewal to replenishment in great synergy, since both are working very well together. Combined, we have a greater chance of helping our clients to get healthier and older. So, what is renewal science? A technology that triggers the body's renewal system, helping the body to increase the life expectancy. So, if we are lucky, we will be 80 years old until we die. And with the renewal science, we have an option to increase the life expectancy. And how does this work? Next slide, please. How do we trigger the body's renewal system? We replenish our body's level of signal molecules. That's a group of peptides responsible for stimulating stem cell production. This is an important mechanism to understand what we see looking at the aging process and its reversal, since with aging, the levels of our signal molecules decline. Here is an example Dr. Chris Morris uses. When we look at our genetic makeup, the blueprint is the same. Observed by a researcher, the skin cell of a baby and a 60-year-old is the same. Different is the signaling and what the environment has expressed, how our genes express themselves. A baby renews its skin within 2 weeks. For someone being 50 years old, it takes up 12 weeks. If we supply signal molecules, the cell repair of those people is like they are in their teens. That means the aging process can be reversed by revitalizing the communication process we lose when we get older. Supplying signal molecules can mean we can have some reversal. Signal molecules are helping the cellular communication system. And what are signal molecules again? They are peptides. And those peptides are quite complex. We call them oligopeptides. And what are those peptides doing? First of all, the oligopeptides pass intact through the gut into the bloodstream, mainly by pinocytosis and also through exosome package release mechanism. These peptides are characterized as an adaptogen, helping the body to modify the equilibrium of hormones, for example, secreted by the adrenal cortex. Also, these peptides help to stimulate the division of mature cells and significantly helps to decrease the mortality of older cells. They actively help to direct the growth and divisions of cells, regulation, to increase the numbers of cells, proliferation, while also helping less specialized cells becoming more specialized. We call it differentiation. And this is happening to stem cells as well. This was all found in cell cultures of the Cantacuzino Institute in Bucharest, Romania. The mechanism of action of these oligopeptides is regulation of the adrenal cortex hormone activity. That means androgens, glucocorticoids, mineral corticoids, and thus counteracting stress. And the second, helping at cellular and tissue level by exertion of cytostimulating, cytoprotective, and antioxidative properties, thus counteracting inflammation. And how are they doing this? They are doing this by releasing growth factors, helping the cellular communication system. Growth factors are signal proteins that bind to receptors on the surface of the cell, with the primary result of activating cellular regulation, proliferation, and differentiation. There are hundreds of human growth factors in the body, each specifically linked to various functions inside the body. We now know perhaps 25 of them. So here's a slide of a cell with its cell membrane. If you look on this picture, you are looking on that interaction. Growth factors are made of clusters of low molecular weight oligopeptides, which are quickly and easily assimilated and transported into the body to their specific receptor sites, where they work as ligands to receptors or intracellular and intranuclear sensors. Therefore, they allow variable genetic responses through transcriptions with upregulation, downregulation, inhibition, and/or stimulation, thus establishing end organ responses. Our bodies use these processes to activate and regulate adult stem cells to heal and repair. All of these things are about signaling, manufacturing, and repairing, and all the things the cell is required to do. We have trillions of cells, and that is going on in any of them. With the proper signaling, we regenerate and repair the body. If we have the proper nutrition, we work in synergy of renewal and replenishment. Here comes the importance of the stem cells. Once activated by growth factors, stem cells are able to self-replicate and differentiate into multiple cell types: muscle, bone, fat, cartilage, and more. The remarkable ability of stem cells to regenerate and renew offers tremendous potential to improve our wellness and health. The only known food source of growth factors to date is the avian egg, sourced from organically grown, fertilized hen eggs in Norway that have been incubated up to 10 days. Just before the stem cells in those eggs differentiate into cells creating a chicken, the pre-embryonic proteins abundant in growth factors get extracted, dried, powdered, and put into capsules. And as such, we can use these growth factors to activate and direct our adult stem cells. The avian egg extract is called young tissue extract. We summarize. Young tissue extract is a pre-embryonic extract. It's a natural combination of amino acids, glycopeptides, and oligopeptides extracted from fertilized chicken eggs at the crucial pre-embryonic stage when these vital nutrients are most concentrated. The young tissue extract is authentic and Norwegian certified and is sourced directly from Norway. Young tissue extract delivers also amino acids, minerals, vitamins, and growth factors, signaling the activation of the stem cells. Here are some growth factors listed contained in young tissue extract. One of the better known is fibroblast growth factor. While fibroblast growth factor is readily available in the human placenta, its availability to the human body diminishes over time and essentially vanishes as we age. We remember, our body is incapable of processing its own fibroblast growth factor and all the others, so it must derive it from the food supply. After these biochemical explanations, we now turn to practical issues. Next slide, please. Young tissue extract releases the body from the chronic stress cycle. By dealing with stress hormones such as cortisol. As such, young tissue helps the body to balance out hormones by increasing DHEA. Young tissue extract contributes in dealing with stress hormones in elevating 17-ketosteroid levels in the adrenal glands, which decreases stress-related hormones, such as cortisol. So, what are young tissue extract's possible targets? Reduction of physical and mental stress by regulating the stress level. Improvement of the emotional balance and energy levels by balancing hormones. Improvement of brain functions by increasing concentration, focus, and mental strength. Helping with sleep, better recovery after training, increasing muscle tone and strength, improvement of libido. There are lots of announcements now followed by the science of young tissue extract. The first study I want to show you was very intriguing to me. I'm working with a lot of traumatized patients, and we have to treat trauma-related symptoms, and this can be often very difficult. And this study was done on only one growth factor that's called fibroblast growth factor number 2. And in this study, it was shown that it helps specifically traumatized rats to mitigate symptoms of post-traumatic stress. Next slide, please. Young tissue extract helps regulating stress. Here you see a chart with athletes decreasing their stress hormone level, cortisol, by up to 50%. And there were 32 men and women, mean age 30, recruited from a fitness center in Colorado, 19 completing the study. The mean training time was 17.5 months. In addition, a group of 7 advanced bodybuilders were recruited with a mean time, training time of 6 years. And they had such a great release of cortisol. And the next slide, please. Now, some specific studies on YTE. 2010, a double-blind, placebo-controlled study was performed to test the possible effect of young tissue extract in acute stress. The study specifically looked at subjective evaluation of acute stress, cortisol level, and heart rate. The study used healthy male volunteers aged 20 to 50 years old. And the result was astonishing. YTE selectively improves adaptation to acute stress by normalizing the endocrine and the subjective stress response. Next slide, please. The study showed that the participant taking young tissue extract scored significantly lower in the subjective acute stress under this. This was a special stress test, and compared to the placebo group, this is a graph to the left. In the group of chronically stressed, this test resulted in a higher increase in cortisol release in the active group versus the placebo. While in the group without chronic stress, the stress test resulted in a lower increase in cortisol release in the active versus to the placebo group. This demonstrates that young tissue extract normalizes cortisol release. This clearly shows the role of an adaptogen. Is the level too low, it increases. Is the level too high, it lowers. This is up and down regulation. Being chronically highly stressed can mean that the body down-regulates cortisol release. And under young tissue extract, this can return back to normal. Next slide, please. So this is a study done on depression. 12-week, double-blind, placebo-controlled study, and was done with questionnaires I use in my practice daily. That was depression scales called Beck Depression Inventory and Hamilton Depression Scale, Rating Scale. And what was done was 55 patients with depression were randomly assigned to receive young tissue extract or young tissue extract plus Melissa officinalis. And this is a plant considered having some relaxing effects. And the other group was placebo for 12 weeks. Now we can see the results. At baseline, there were no significant differences in scores on the Hamilton Depression Scale or Beck Depression Inventory among the 3 groups. At 12 weeks, the Hamilton Depression Rating Scale scores in groups treated with young tissue extract or young tissue extract with Melissa officinalis were both significantly lower than those in the placebo group. In addition, both treatment groups showed a significant improvement in depression as measured by the change in Hamilton Depression Scale scores from baseline to 12 weeks. Actually, from I saw the numbers. It's from medium high symptoms, they went down to low depressive symptoms, and with the placebo group showed no significant change. There were no significant changes and differences also between the two treatment groups. So this was no change with or without this plant called Melissa officinalis. The result were, the study indicates, that the fertilized egg powder has an antidepressive effect and may be an alternative or adjunct to antidepressive medications for some patients. Next slide, please. Here is the summary of the discussion to this study. So the study indicates that young tissue extract may influence depression measures. Young tissue extract may have a beneficial effect on subjective stress and the endocrine stress response. Dysregulation of the stress response may play a role in major depression. Determination of any relationship between young tissue extract and the stress response requires further research. So following, we look at several studies performed 1997 on libido, that's sexual drive, in men. First study was libido showing decreased libido as a side effects of antidepressants, and showing positive results as all the other studies as well. The study was studies suggest that young tissue extract may influence libido in patients suffering from side effects of antidepressant. And the next slide, please. The other studies looked at how young tissue extract could increase male libido, and the results from this double-blind crossover placebo-controlled experiments were very conclusive. Next.
Sorry, the mouse is actually doing something here.
Oh, okay. Okay. Over a period as short as 2 weeks, 58% of participants with low sex drive noticed improvements. Data showed a significant increase in the frequency of intercourse, increased self-esteem, increased level happiness, as well as stamina. In a separate Swedish study, 84% of men reported increased sexual desire. The next is conducted a 6-week double-blind placebo-controlled study at the University of Colorado involving 32 men and women aged 19 to 35. The study compared the effectiveness of 2 nutritional supplements in increasing muscle strength and muscle mass. And the effects of taking 5 grams of 50-50 blend of young tissue extract and creatine were compared with taking only creatine monohydrate 5 grams. And results are shown in the table. So if you know, in the fitness center we have leg press and bench press. They all you remove weights with the arms or legs, and you see the difference. Young tissue extract made them work much better, exactly 9 kilograms with the leg and 2 kilograms with the arms. In addition, a number of subjective conditions, for instance, energy levels, stamina, and subjective health were also measured. Virtually all of the study participants who took young tissue extract experienced a significant increase in physical energy, stamina, and muscle strength. So, next slide. Impact. These findings suggest clear therapeutic targets for boosting regenerative capacity, rejuvenating tissue maintenance, and forestalling tissue aging. It addresses the core issues that cause the breakdown of the body. In addition, it has shown helping with reduction of stress, which is the underlying cause of breakdown of the body. In addition, it has been shown that it's helping with the pH levels, and it's helping with insulin regulation, which means it's facilitating blood glucose balance and anti-inflammatory response. Most people notice increased energy, improved focus and concentration. Also, that young tissue extract helps them with occasional sleeplessness and promoting deeper, more restful sleep. Most people feel the results within a few days. However, everybody is different, so your experience will vary. There are no documented cases or instances of adverse reactions. And when used as directed, young tissue extract is safe and effective. But the effects often vary greatly by individuals. Caution with true allergy to eggs or fish, because that's in StemRenu. Here are some beneficial additional benefits, specifically for athletes, performance and beauty. Here we summarize the ability to tolerate longer training sessions for athletic performance due to endurance and improved stamina, increased muscle strength and muscle tone, and faster recovery after training sessions. And the next slide shows the YTE helping beauty. Many believe that chronic stress is the underlying cause of accelerated or premature aging. The stress hormone cortisol can contribute by aging by breaking down collagen, disrupting blood sugar and pH levels, compromising our energy levels, causing our bodies to excrete crisis hormones signaling to store fat and burn muscle. By counteracting the negative consequences of stress, we have a decrease of cortisol, means stimulation of the beauty hormone DHEA production, increase of serotonin levels, helping improving sleep by increasing melatonin, working on cellular level, improving overall health and restoring a balanced state. We recommend taking, starting with 4 capsules for 2 weeks, then depending on what you want, 1 to 2 capsules a day. I always recommend the personal variable, the effects on stress, and people tell me more about it, and you probably have the same results. They vary, and it depends all on their physical, emotional, or mental stress. And we come to the conclusion. Young tissue extracts' ability to supply growth factors and in turn stimulate stem cell production activation distinguishes it from any other approach in stem cell technology. You can take it orally, it's non-invasive, it's affordable. Those stem cell treatments we already have access to usually involve complex procedures and are very expensive. And until now, I have not heard of any adverse reaction. Renewal science technology helps us getting out of an egg the most potential ingredients. From the beginning of life, we start with an egg. Fertilized, we have the first stem cell. With fibroblast growth factor and other growth factors already available in the human placenta, its availability to the human body diminishes over time and essentially vanishes as we age. Our body is incapable of producing its own fibroblast growth factor, so it must derive it from the food supply. One source of signal molecules used in signal molecule technology is young tissue extract and egg albumin. Young tissue extract has naturally occurring many growth factors. One of them is fibroblast growth factor. The avian egg extract is working by releasing growth factors, and as such we can use it as antidotes to our stressors and inflammatory processes. Young tissue extract and the avian egg extract is the only known food source of pre-embryonic signal proteins today. Here now we have an anti-aging agent put into a capsule using avian egg extract. In this sense, next slide please, reclaim your own energy back. Perhaps in future with young tissue extract. Thank you for your attention. Yes, and if we have still time, I'm open to any questions.